Hi, this is Robin with Odessa Rose Creates, and today I want to share with you how I finish a project with scrapbook paper. I simply cut strips to the size I want with my paper cutter. I cut the width, and then again I just measure to make sure it fits down on the surface how I want it. So I just mark it and cut it again. You can leave it as a straight edge. On a lot of my projects I will leave it straight, and sometimes I tear them to give it more of a vintage homemade look. So I just tear them. You want to make sure you tear the edge up so you have the white layered paper exposed. If you tear it down, the exposed layer will be on the underside. So next I like to age that paper because I like my finished projects to look vintage. I want to age that paper. So I apply a stained wax paste onto the paper first before I glue it down to my surface. And you want to apply it first if you're going to stain the edge. No matter what you use for staining, you want to do it first because the Mod Podge or glue, if it seeps out, it will seal in that paper and you won't be able to stain it. It'll stay bright white. So I wax it first with the stain, and then I apply Mod Podge to the back of the strips and glue it to the surface. And I do get a matte finish Mod Podge, so I don't have any shiny glue that will dry and it'll look shiny on my surface. So get the matte finish. Always make sure you double check as that glue is drying that it is smooth, the air pockets are out, and you have a nice smooth paper on there. So go over it a few times. And then I go right ahead and stain my surface. Not stain, but wax. I almost wax all of my surfaces before I apply my chalk paste, and unless it is a Couture chalkboard. Those don't really need the wax, but I like to wax all the other surfaces. It just lets the transfer release better off of the surface, and that would allow less damage to your transfer. So I just go ahead and wax it. I use a stained wax on this surface because I want it to be vintage. If I don't want it to be vintage, then I will use a clear wax. And here I'm just showing customers where to purchase the box frames. So I don't even let it set too long. I just go ahead and go right into chalk pasting. And we cut apart our transfer. And when I was waxing that strips of paper, another good thing is to wax the paper so that the sticker of the back of the transfer doesn't stick to the paper, and when you pick up your transfer, it will tear your paper if you have not waxed it. So make sure you apply some wax. If it does tear it, I usually try to glue it back down with either Mod Podge, or I will just, if it tears off completely, it's just a small area, I will apply some more stain to it just to give it more of a vintage look and just make it part of the design. But if you wax it really well, you're not going to get much tear. And of course, make sure you fuzz your transfer and get this straight, level, even from the left to the right and top to bottom. And we're going to apply our Couture chalk paste. Just spread it on evenly and scrape off the extra and put it back in the jar. Make sure to pull your transfers evenly across, either up and down or side to side, as you remove the transfer so you don't stretch that silk screen. And if you're in a hurry, you can dry this with your hair dryer on a cool setting. I also like to embellish a lot of my pieces with either twine, ribbon, or other embellishments. I usually apply ribbon and twine with Aleene's clear tacky glue. And then other embellishments, I usually use an E6000. So we're going to apply some of the stars, and I end up using the gold or copper shimmer. And usually I will go ahead and wax my chalk paste when I'm done, either in the clear or the vintage, just depending on what I want to achieve as my look. And I like to seal it in with the wax. Carry that metallic color in with the ribbon I'm going to use to decorate my piece. There it is, finished. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.